So welcome to the Galactic Mayan Weather Report. I'm coming to you today at the beginning of the 13 days of the yellow seed Wavespell. So this is 13 days beginning today that are all about evolving our capacity to target our awareness on what we want to flower in our lives and to become more discerning as to where we might be giving our awareness and therefore our energy on the things we don't want in our life. And I've given this analogy many times in this report. It's this yellow seed Wavespell is about, really honing your capacity to not focus your awareness on the manure that's around the seed or potential that you are. Not getting so caught up in what's wrong with your environment, what's going to stop you from becoming who you are. Because when you do that, you actually focus your awareness, you start channeling your energy towards the very thing you don't want. Now that doesn't mean disregard it and be reckless and ignorant. Your reality is your reality. It's a reflection of where you are, and we need to be honest about that. If I'm insecure, it's going to reflect itself in the outside world. I can't ignore that. But the key of the yellow seed Wavespell is not to target your awareness on what's wrong out there and try and brute force it and fix it and change it and get it to work, but to use the skills that you have developed over the last 39 days, the last 3 Wavespells, which were the white mirror Wavespell. There was the red serpent, so it was activating our life force and survival instinct, our ability to use fear as a tool. And then there was the white mirror, which was all about going to deep reflection in order to create order, to cut away bullshit in our lives and to cut away the bullshit we're telling ourselves in our lives. And that was pretty rough for many of us. And then once you move through that, we moved into the blue monkey, which finished yesterday. And the blue monkey was the mischievous one that was tripping everything up, pulling the rug out from people's feet, saying, let's stop taking this so serious. This is a cosmic play at work here. Have fun. Learn to follow your excitement, because anything else will lead you astray. And so the blue monkey has been kind of igniting this kind of creative, rebellious spirit, this monkey energy that's willing to step out of the norm in order to find its way. And so today, we begin the final 13-day Wavespell of what's known as the Castle of Burning in the Mayan dream spell work. And this 52-day cycle called the Castle of Burning is very much what it sounds like. I didn't tell you this at the start of the cycle. Now that we're in the finishing phase, we're in the yellow seed. The yellow is all about ripening what we've been working on. So now it's exciting because we're at the point where we've just gone through 39 days of really burning our ego, of putting ourselves under pressure and tension and fire to test ourselves, to really challenge ourselves to see what's real and what's not. What is the story I'm telling myself that's enabling me to stay a victim and safe and feel like I can blame it on others and therefore be comfortable in my stagnation? And what's really burning inside me? What is it that I'm here to do? What is it that I'm here to be? Just to really work on cutting out that crap so we can get down to business, because it's time to get to work, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to step up to the stage and allow your light to shine forth. It's time to stop with these stories, stop with the tall poppy syndrome where we're cutting each other down and thinking that, we need to be the ones to make the breakthroughs. We need to move towards a place now where we can target our awareness on the beauty that is happening around us, whoever is bringing it forward. And it's to celebrate collective humanity as one. To be able to look out, and if you see, someone in your family, a friend or a workmate who has made a breakthrough, they came up with a solution to something which fixed a problem that everyone was having, then celebrate that. Don't feel, oh shit, they're smart and clever. I didn't do that. What worth am I? I've got nothing. But look at them. Look at all these people out there being successful. Look at all these people changing the world. Oh, good on them. But that's not me. But instead, we need to start changing that way and actually think of this as a collective, that you are a fingertip of the collective. So therefore, anything that is successful and game-changing and amazing out there is part of your team. You have achieved something, even if you've just been at home. You don't need to be the one at the forefront, the spearhead that gets the recognition for the change, but it's to celebrate the change of itself. And that also goes for all the mistakes, all the horror, the tragedy, the things out there. Not looking out going, oh, look, they're screwing it up for me. They're making it hard. We can't live this peaceful lifestyle that you're talking about because there's all these people doing horrible things. That's part of our team too. That's part of our collective. We are team humanity, whether you like it or not, but our team has become divided, like those bloody TV shows, the survival shows where they put a team in and then they turn against each other because they start limiting the resources and creating an environment for division and tension and stress. And that's what they're trying to do out there is with the economics, the politics, etc. It's separating our team. We are one humanity, we are one team, but we've gone astray and we all need to own a piece of that. And so what we need to do now is stop looking at what's wrong, but own the whole collective madness and start targeting our awareness on what is your potential, what is your seed, what is your fractal that you are bringing to this game. And stop looking at why you can't bring it forward, because the chances are if you're watching this video, then you already feel something greater inside you that you are trying to define and give form to, that you're trying to find a way through the struggle to bring to the world, because you have a good heart, you want to bring it forward, but you're struggling. Everyone's struggling, in their own ways to find out how do we get this seed forth. And that's where, as I've been contemplating this whole concept, I've been thinking about, how a seed grows. And you think of, a seed that grows in this soil, it's when you look at soil out in the bush, it's full of all these, sticks and rough bits and pieces, and it's not smooth. It's not an easy pathway through. And a seed gets planted deep in soil, Sometimes it's covered in rocks and big boulders like this. And when a seed cracks open, it leaves its security, its shell. And in a way, the shell of a seed is like our old life. It's the old paradigm. It's the character that fits into society that we've been playing for most of our lives in order to survive. And that's the shell of the seed. It's this hard, ignorant casing that protects this beauty that's inside. And it needs to happen until it has the right environment for breakthrough, to break through the shell. And so when a seed goes into soil, it feels the warmth or the coolness. It feels like the womb-like essence, the darkness, the cool darkness of the soil and the richness of the nutrients. And then it can feel the sunlight moving through the soil, warming up the soil. So it can feel warmth above, cold below. And so what the seed does is it cracks out, and this very vulnerable, kind of little sprout begins to come, and you can see a seedling when it sprouts. It's so soft and vulnerable and easy to destroy. But it has the courage to go forth. It must move towards the light. It must move towards the heat. It is its very genetic imperative to break out of that shell and move towards the sun, irrelevant of what's in its way. And that means that when a rock gets in its way or a stick, it doesn't just keep whacking at it or go, oh shit, well there's a rock in the way. Well, until someone comes and moves this rock, until the police or the gardener or someone comes and removes this rock, I'm just going to sit here, or I'm going to go back into my shell. The seed doesn't do that. It says, okay, there's a hard surface, and it tests. It uses its sensitive vulnerability to touch and feel very sensually its environment, and it starts moving and prodding until it finds the path of least resistance. And so then the sprout begins to follow the path of least resistance towards the light, and that will help it find its way up around the rock and into the light rather than going against it. And sometimes it finds a crack in the rock, a weakness, and the seed gets its nice soft vulnerableness in there, and it can crack a rock. That's what's amazing about the seedling. With its persistence of following its truth, following its excitement through the path of least resistance, the seedling will reach the soil and get the light of the sun. And when the light of the sun hits that seedling, It's the most exquisite thing to watch how when it is fed the nutrients, the water, the soil, the sun, it suddenly just takes wildfire. It grows, leaves start coming out, it gets more sun, and it builds up and builds up and builds up, and it grows faster and faster and faster. But it's always that phase in the beginning that takes the longest. And that's where we are at right now, ladies and gentlemen. We've just gone through 3 wave spells that have kicked our ass collectively, that have demanded truth and self-reflection, that have demanded ownership and accountability, that have demanded us to be real with ourselves and stand up and be willing to stand in our truth. And now this yellow seed wave spell is here for the next 13 days to provide support and energy to help evolve our capacity to target our awareness in our lives on the seed of potential that's within us, that's coming out. Because we have broken the shell a long time ago now. We've already been through the shell cracking. That's why it's terrifying. 10 years ago, we could deal with this because we could be in the ignorance of our shells. All around the planet, whether people were ready or not, they have cracked out of their shell. And now we are all vulnerable little seedlings, very close to the surface. We can feel the heat and the sun coming through into our lives now. And you can if you relax. If you breathe, use meditation, yoga, whatever practice, when you ride a fast motorbike or whatever your Zen practice is to bring yourself into the moment and to calm the mind and be present, if you bring yourself here, you'll be able to feel the light. You can feel the sun coming through, this energy, this abundance of energy and potential just rearing inside you, this fire calling it out. But if the mind tries to work out how it's going to happen, you know, if it like a seed trying to work out its plan through the soil before it actually starts, then you're going to create yourself immense anxiety. You're going to create frustration, stress, it's depression. All these things come from fighting and trying to plan and use the mind like this. But rather, through this next 13 days, see if you can use the skills you've picked up over the last 3 wave spells to really trust in the unknown, to use your capacity to be sensitive, to feel for the path of least resistance in your life. That does not mean giving up on your target. It means stop trying to bulldoze your way through your obstructions, you know, things that are getting in your way, and instead listen to them, feel into them, be sensitive around them, and look around and be dynamic. Don't get stuck in one spot and keep fighting that block, blaming that block. Own your own part of that game and see where you can calm yourself down and use your vulnerability and sensitivity to find, okay, where can I move around this gracefully in a way that is easy, that comes naturally, that feels right. And there will be provocation in there. There will be some aggression and craziness happening around the place over this next week. You know, so remember to breathe and use every skill you have to not allow yourself to be tricked into giving your awareness to that which you don't want. Do not feed it your energy, because that is what happens. Wherever you target your awareness, where your attention goes, energy flows. So where you target your awareness is where your energy goes. It cannot be taken from you. It cannot be stolen from you. So do not go around playing the victim, feeling my energy's been taken from my environment, my people around me, the rest. It is given. It is given by the way we target our awareness. And so I challenge you for this 13 days to hone your capacity to be on ball, do whatever it takes for this next 2 weeks, to just constantly focus your awareness on what's ready to flower around you and where the good things are happening. Because when you begin to feed, even if they're just small things, just one good thing in the day happened and 20 bad. If you can give your awareness to that one bad thing and feed it your energy, it begins to grow like that seed. It gets strength. It's like shining the sun on the seed within you. And it will grow more and more. Spot everything. See if you can get something to appreciate in your loved ones, your family. Appreciate the good parts of your relationships, even if they're terrible. See if you can appreciate the good parts of this global revolution that's happening right now. The excitement that's alive for what's coming next. And tune into that excitement. And not into the fear of how's it going to come about. And let's work together now to help feed the seed of potential in our collective and to grow it.